Hey, good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in with Mr. T with V5 Coding. So, today we're going to do some simple things. We're going to look at bumper switches, and we're also going to look at the limit switch. And we're going to look at where to plug them in and how to basically program a switch. And with a lot of things, we're going to do a few of the must-haves for my class and try to avoid the no-nos. Okay, first off, let's talk about just the hardware. Where do we plug it in? Where does it go? So on the side of your brain, right there, you have all of those lovely 3-wire female ports. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use ports A, B, and C. So we're going to start with the old school bump switch, and we're going to put that, and we're going to put it in A. Here we go. So boom, it goes in. Don't mess with wires, be gentle. Use your fingernail if you must to press that in. There we go. It's in A. Make sure it's all the way in. And then we're going to use the new V5 bump switch in B. Okay, and then we are going to add the limit switch to C. We're going to program all three of these pretty quickly, actually, and show you the basics of how they would look in a program. So, I know they're everywhere, but that's all we need to do right there. All right, so first off, we're going to get this guy set up, then we're going to get the V5 guy set up, and then we're going to get the limit switch set up. So let's look into our coding real quick. I've opened up the little sample testbed moving and motor program, and so I just use this as my template. So just like you would open your template normally, you would go ahead and say, okay, well, I did a save as, and I named it bump switch, and let's see if you can say it. Yep, and limit switch. So that's what I named it. So I don't need any of this gone because this is going to be my basic template. When started, wait 3 seconds, period. All right, so we are not test bed moving a motor now. This is going to be, we're just going to say bump switch, and limit switch. All right, so this is me right here. Today is, we're just going to do this real quick, 12-2. All right, and we have lefty in port 1, righty in port 10. We're going to leave that as it is. We're going to add those two bump switches and that limit switch. Let's go ahead and add a device. So we go over here to add a device. We're going to add a 3-wire device since we are in the 3-wire ports. First one we're going to add is a bump switch. Even though it's the older school, it still looks like the new one on the actual adding a device. So A, boom. This is bumper A. So what we're going to do, let's name it old school. Oh, they won't let me do that because no space is allowed. Remember, we've learned this stuff. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to say done. And then we're going to add a device. We'll add the other bumper. And we'll add it to B like we talked about. And we're going to name it new guy. There we go. All right. Done. And then we're going to add our limit switch. 3-wire again. Where is it? Oh, right there. Boom. It's in port C. We're going to name it, we're just going to go limity. Boom. Done. So there we go. Now we have these guys. And what you notice when those things happen, things started popping down over here. Because now in reality, I could start, instead of when started, I could have this as my starting block. Boom. Or this one. Look at either one of those. Limity, and this is all bump switch. This is only for limit switches. So I'm just going to get rid of those because I'm going to start with the basics because I want you to start with the basics. We're going to stay really simple at this. All right, so now we need to go ahead and add this to our configuration. We have EDR bump switch in port A. And if I want to make this a little bit faster, I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to make this say V5. One beneath it say, oh, actually, the limit switch really doesn't matter. There we go. And this is port B. And this one's port C. Boom, done. Configuration's done. You know what's in each port. You have confirmed what's in each port with the configuration, and Mr. T now knows what's in each port for you. So that's one of those cool things right there. All right, so now let's work on the program. So after our 3-second wait, let's just say we wanted to have nothing happen whatsoever until the bump's pressed. So here we go. So we need to find the bumper being pressed, okay? We do want a motor to turn, so let's just say we're going to have lefty turn. So let me go find lefty. I'm going to go ahead and find lefty and righty. I'm going to go ahead and set their velocity and get that knocked out and done, because you can do that at the very beginning. So let's see. So what do we want to do? Volts. Do we want to do, oh, there it is, velocity. See, starts with the V as well. And then we are going to set righty at velocity as well. So we're just going to say, 25 sounds good. There we go. All right, so they're both set at 25% velocity. Now our program needs to start, so we need to find that bump switch. So we need to go down here and we're like, where did it go? Where could it be? Okay, we got repeats, forevers, if statements, break, stop the entire project. Let's see. So, oh, look at this. We have all these things that could happen. Brain, operators. Ooh, okay. Now we're finding some other stuff. Variables. Oh, this is getting crazy. All right, so we're going to run back in this, and we're going to find anything that has to do with our bump switches. Okay, so we can do an until right here. We can choose that guy. And then once we pick that guy, what we're going to do is we're going to find the bump switch stuff, and we're going to stick that stuff right inside it, and that's going to help us get our program going. So I'm going to go wait until, so nothing's going to happen until, then we need to see, let's see, the screen's pressed? No, that's not what we want. Let's see, since this is sensing, we're in the right area. Let's see, is there anything about, oh, that's lefty, righty, okay, let's look in here, oh, lefty, righty, so it doesn't look like anything in here is what's going to help us. Look right here, bumper sensing, gotcha. See, process of elimination, I'm taking you through a lot of things. So we're going to do old school being pressed. When it is pressed, and we have the choice since there are two bump switches. Now, what do we want to happen when it's pressed? So let's make lefty turn on and run for, what do you think, 1.5 seconds? Does that sound pretty good? Okay, so now we're going to spin lefty forward. And how long we want to spin it forward? We said about 1.5 seconds. So the computer's going to wait 1.5 seconds. Remember, decimals are okay. And then after 1.5 seconds, we're just doing this in sequence. We're going to have that guy stop. And yes, there is a copy and paste things that we can take blocks and copy and paste it and what have you. But I'm just showing you that you can scroll up, down. You can click over here. I'm just going the basic way. So let's see what will happen if we were to download this to our brain. So let's see. So we have old school pressed. Lefty spins forward for 1.5 seconds, and then lefty stops. So that sounds great. Now let's see what happens. Okay, let me click. Oh, I can't click download. I wonder why. Oh, do you see that the brain is not green? Which means there's no brain connected. All right, so let's connect that. Here we go. And done. And we will now turn the brain on. That's very helpful, by the way. Now we are going to look at our actual view now. Oh, we need to hit download first. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's download this to our robot. All right. Now, I'm going to minimize this, and we're going to see what happens. So we're going to hit run. Our program is not going to do anything until you press the bump. And it's done. That's it. And to show you a little proof on that, watch this real quick. So if I were to hit run, nothing's happening until 3 seconds. Now it works. That's where that 3 second wait comes in, so you're not accidentally pressing it and the robot just takes off. Okay, taking a look at that, we're going to go ahead and stop this guy real quick. One thing we used to do in Robot C is we used to add a wait right after any type of switch being pressed. So if you ever come up with an issue before you actually turn on anything, any movements or anything like that, because I tell you to have a wait sandwich, a 1 second wait sandwich between movements of the robot. Technically, the pressing of this is not a movement, but if you want any type of separation, like I taught you guys in Robot C, you would simply put a 1 point, if you're intent on throwing these in there, which they could help, then you could do a 0.1 second wait and throw that guy in there, and that should work just fine. That 0.1 wait is detrimental when you were in Robot C whenever you were utilizing a touch sensor, which is a limit switch. All right, so we're just gonna we'll leave that in there for now. Now let's go ahead and add new guy. So we like all of these things, so it stops right there. Now let's do another wait until. I'm gonna grab that guy right there, and let's go down to the sensing area. Let's see if we can find motor sensing. Oh, bumper again. Yes, let's put that in there. But we want new guy pressed. Now let's have righty start spinning right here. And we will have righty going forward. Okay. And let's have righty wait for 1.5 seconds. There we go. While it's running. And then we want righty to stop. So here we go. So boom, righty, stop. Okay, now let's see if this works. So we have old school guy, then new guy. Now we'll hit download, and then we'll watch. Okay. All right, so now let's watch. Let me back this guy out. Oops, I guess this is the one we're still in. Run. Oh, sorry. Nothing will happen for the first 3 seconds. Whenever this guy's hit, boom, that guy turns. Here is righty. Nothing's happening. That doesn't happen. Oh, yeah. About that guy. There he is. The other bump, the new guy. All right, last but not least, let's throw the limit switch into the mix. It's the exact same type of programming. So let's pull it up. Let's add that to the next one. So now we're going to do another wait until. Boom. And now let's find our limit sensor. Let's find it real quick. There it is. If limity is pressed, what do we want to happen? Well, let's go back to the left motor. Let's make the left motor go, but let's make them go backwards. Let's do that. So we're going to start the lefty, and we're going to make them go backwards. And, ooh, do we want them to go fast? Let's do that. So we're going to have to set his velocity. So let's find that again. There it is. So I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to set his velocity at 100. He's going to go backwards. This is going to be craziness. All right, then we're going to make it wait. We'll make it go fast for 2.5 seconds. Let's see if we can make that work. And then we should have a stop. Remember, you always want to tell things to stop. Students ask me all the time, why is it running into the wall? Because you told it to run into the wall, and it will never stop until the battery dies. Okay, so let's take a quick look. So let's see. So now we have limity pressed. Lefty is really fast. Lefty starts really fast, goes for that amount of time, and then stops. Let's see if this thing's actually right. Download. Boom. Now, let me minimize that. Let's see what we got. All right, here we go. So we're going to hit run. Okay, so remember, this bump switch, nothing happens because it's waiting on this one. Everything happens in order. So boom. Limit switch won't work still because we're not in that order yet. Oh, other guy right there. Oh, I better hold on to this guy. Remember what happened? Ah, see, look at that. Oh, yeah. As soon as I picked it up, that limit switch clicked right on the floor, and booyah. That sucker started going. Okay, so there you have it. That is your bump switches and limit switches. Those are the easiest way how to program those. Remember, programming goes sequentially. So it goes in this order since I've set it up this way. So it will go from the top down. It will follow this. None of these will work until these guys are done. It will not advance to here unless it has gone through these. And if you're like, well, it skipped it all. you need to go back into what it skipped and find out why it skipped it. It means something in that area has an issue. So, I bid you good luck. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.